Welcome back to Otaku Daikun. Dai here, and for this video we'll be talking about anime couples. Well, about that. There are just so many amazing anime couples out there that it'll take me at least 2 videos to cover them all. So for this one, I found a way to separate those couples into groups. I mentioned back in my anime tropes episode the idea of a timid romance that involves shows where the romantic climax is a confession or a kiss, but never goes into the more nuanced aspects of building a relationship. In contrast to that, we'll be looking at anime couples where we see their growth, struggles, and devotion put to the test. Relationships aren't easy. They aren't all fun and games, but that's what makes them beautiful. And the following couples are prime examples of that. Now, this is not a top anime couples list, since there are tons more out there than what we'll see here. But these are my picks for devoted, tested romances. That being said, expect spoilers for pretty much all of them.
You have been warned.
Without further ado, let's look at some genuine anime rabu-rabu. Time to derail the hate train on this show yet again. The love between Kirito and Asuna is one of my absolute favorites in all of anime. We've got Kirito, afraid to get close to anyone out of fear of losing them, and Asuna, worried that the death game she's a part of will change her and take away her humanity. The two of them are able to fill each other's voids. Asuna is strong enough to hold her own, able to save Kirito even. And Kirito shows Asuna how to live and love the world around her, to find beauty and happiness even in dire circumstances. When their love is realized, they get married within the game and decide to fight together in hopes of escaping SAO and meeting in the real world. This makes the two of them stronger than they ever could have been on their own. In the anime's first season, both of them strive to save each other when they're needed most. They even wind up adopting a virtual AI named Yui and caring for her like a daughter. As the anime heads into its second season, we see Asuna giving Kirito the chance to shine, to fight his own personal battle in Gun Gale Online with her support. In return, Kirito watches and supports Asuna in her own challenges with Yuki and her party. They remain a strong, dependable couple, while each of them fosters their own strength and independence. Out in the real world, the two of them make strides together, even finding ways to become more connected to their virtual daughter through advances in technology. Shirayuki is a skilled herbalist, a maker of medicines and herbal remedies, who is often victimized and coveted for her unique red hair. She leaves her kingdom when the prince tries to force her to become his concubine, and runs into Zen, a prince of the neighboring kingdom of Clarinets. After mutually helping one another, they form a relationship built upon respect. Zen supports Shirayuki in becoming a more knowledgeable court herbalist, while Shirayuki supports Zen in bettering his kingdom. This mutual respect turns into romance, and the two work together to find a path in life they can walk without sacrificing each other's dreams and ambitions. The uniqueness of their love comes from their respect for consent and open communication. Together, they break down the barriers preventing their love from being recognized by the Clarinets royal family. Shiki and Kokutou first begin caring for each other in high school. Kokutou trusting in Shiki despite the intimidating rumors about her, and Shiki yearning to be closer to Kokutou without letting her murderous instincts take over. After Shiki's murderous personality commits suicide, being hit by a car, Kokutou visits her frequently in the hospital for 2 years until she wakes up from a coma. He continues to live near and support her while she struggles to regain her sense of self despite her less than sociable nature. Through spending so much time together, Kokutou understands Shiki's unique displays of gratitude and affection, and the two share a very supportive, caring love, without being announced outright. They each provide strength for the other in their own unique ways. The two wind up getting married, having a child, and laying their past struggles to rest. At first, these two are at each other's wits' end, being a tsundere on tsundere battle royale. We have Okabe, who uses his maniacal Chunibyo alter ego, Hoin Kyoma, as a means of dealing with his insecurities, and Makise, a brilliant scientist who fears aggressive men due to her jealous father's hatred for her. Interestingly, as they both crash and conflict with each other, they wind up chipping away at each other's stubborn barriers and revealing their true feelings. Makise winds up seeing Okabe's fears and worries come to the surface as he struggles journeying across world lines. Okabe, in this vulnerable state, finds inspiration and comfort in Makise's brilliance. The two of them fall deeply in love, but due to the nature of Okabe's time travel, only he would wind up remembering the love they shared. He sacrifices the love they share for the betterment of the world, but continues to find a way to save Makise's life on the original world line. Having averted that crisis, Okabe starts his relationship with Makise from scratch. And Makise struggles to believe that, in another world line, they shared a close bond. Over time, however, Makise begins to catch glimpses of the love they shared, and is able to fall for him all over again. Given that Okabe once traveled time to save her life, Makise takes the opportunity to save Okabe's jeopardized existence. The two prove they have a love capable of enduring both time and space. Both Shirou and Rin suffered greatly in childhood. Shirou survived a horrific fire, while Rin lost both of her parents during and shortly after the Fourth Holy Grail War. These experiences taught them to care for others, which ultimately brings them together as allies during the Fifth Holy Grail War. In the midst of the cutthroat war, the two are able to confide in and assist each other. They fall in love and settle their personal struggles by ending the war and destroying the Grail. As they near graduation, Shirou pledges to serve under Rin as her bodyguard and apprentice during her college education at the Clock Tower. In return, Rin decides to travel the world with Shirou, allowing him to fulfill his dreams of becoming a hero of justice. The two lovingly plan their lives in tandem, with consideration for each other's dreams. Yuji wakes up from hibernation to a world of chaos and strife, as alien creatures called the Blue roam the Earth, killing humans in their purge. As such, he is vulnerable and terrified in the face of the Blue. Marlene is a soldier from humanity's space station shelter, and she meets Yuji on a mission to rescue survivors from Earth. She comes off as a very cold and stern warrior, mainly due to the trauma she faced losing her parents to the Blue as a child, and training ever since to defeat them. She learned to shut away her humanity as a survival instinct, but Yuji's kindness and compassion for others helped bring her humanity back. The two of them rely on each other to survive, and fall in love within their harsh, nightmarish world. Ultimately, their love is what saves them, as it provokes them to return to Earth and learn the truth about the Blue and the key to human survival. They work even harder for humanity's future after conceiving a child. Regardless on your view of the anime's Deus Ex Machina ending, there's no doubting the love Tomoya and Nagisa share. Tomoya is a boy with a broken family, unable to move forward with his life due to an injury his father gave him. As such, he has a deep hatred for the town he grew up in. Nonetheless, he's an able-bodied person capable of great things, but lacks the motivation to achieve anything. Nagisa, on the other hand, is a passionate girl with a horribly debilitating illness that prevents her from realizing her true potential. The two of them meet up to form a pair that, together, makes up for each other's shortcomings. Tomoya helps Nagisa realize her dream of putting on a stage performance, and is given in return the chance to experience a healthy family by staying with Nagisa's parents. They confess to each other and start dating. Nagisa's illness acts up and prevents her from graduating, so Tomoya stays with her until she graduates. In return, she supports Tomoya as he starts a career and gets his own place. They overcome their struggles with devotion and teamwork. Things are at their worst when Tomoya's father causes an incident, and Tomoya's upcoming promotion falls through. When Tomoya is at his lowest, furious and vulnerable, Nagisa sticks with him, and the two agree to get married. They take their new step forward, and, to fulfill Nagisa's wish, they conceive a child. At almost every step, their love is tested. And every time, their teamwork and devotion leads them toward a happy future. Oh, and let's not forget about Nagisa's parents, Akio and Sanae. A loving couple that cast aside their careers in order to be there for their daughter, their real dream. They're extremely supportive of Nagisa as she grows up, marries, and has a child in a very short span of time. In the anime's bad ending, the couple stands strong despite losing their daughter and having to take care of their grandchild as Tomoya wallows in despair. Their love definitely survives through thick and thin. Much like Okabe and Makise, Usagi and Mamoru start off on the wrong foot, bickering until Usagi discovers that Mamoru has been her savior, Tuxedo Mask, all along. As the series progresses, they learn that they are actually reincarnations of the prince and princess of the Moon Kingdom, and that they were deeply in love. Their modern-era selves grow as a couple, even in the presence of their otherworldly daughter, Chibiusa. What makes these two special is their partnership. If one is in trouble, the other comes to the rescue. Throughout the anime, they save each other countless times. Kenshin starts out a broken swordsman, having committed horrible atrocities as an assassin during the Meiji Revolution. He seeks redemption by traveling Japan as a wanderer, vowing to never kill again. He has both deeply personal and literal scars that haunt his guilty conscience. Ultimately, he finds salvation in Kaoru, a young woman running a dojo in continuation of her late father's legacy. She wakes within Kenshin the idea that a sword can be a tool for bringing peace and prosperity to people, and his time spent with her liberates his guilt and gives new meaning to his life. Kenshin and Kaoru fall in love and even have a child together. Despite never escaping his tragic past, Kaoru supports Kenshin for the rest of their days. There's one couple that I think just falls short of being on this list properly, so I added them mostly as an honorable mention. Kaoru and Aoi from Ayori Aoshi. They were two children who were arranged to be married, but political challenges canceled that agreement. Aoi grows up, still devoting herself to the day she would be reunited with Kaoru, loving him regardless of her family's wishes. Kaoru, who left his adopted family after a major falling out, meets Aoi again while scraping his way through college. It is then that their love awakens anew, and the two of them have to find a way to make their love work despite the disapproval of Aoi's family. Ultimately, they are able to live together under the public pretense that they are landlord and tenant, and as such, have to maintain that facade. The reason this one doesn't quite make the cut is because it's essentially a harem anime. The fact that Kaoru can't announce his engagement to Aoi means that he can't use it as an excuse to turn down the other women that wind up staying in the same house. Regardless, he lacks the balls to openly turn them down for any other understandable reason, and winds up flirting and being caught up in various escapades with them. While he doesn't cheat on Aoi, he doesn't exactly put his foot down either. Now there are countless more anime couples, many of which qualify as genuine in their continued struggles. If I missed any, please mention them in the comments. I'd love to talk about them. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel for more anime lists, reviews, discussions, and let's plays. As always, celebrate your fandom.